Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now a first down throw. Luck. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. Avoids him at the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get 3 up to midfield. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From the 50, it's Luck. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is Luck. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Michael Brockers in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And Forbath will put this one through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Simmons. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a give to Crowell. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From his goal line here, Locke firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
12.
A shotgun snap for Love. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taken from just outside. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let it roll, let it roll. 5, 6, 3. 5, 6, 3.
On 2nd down, here's Love. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. Flush to his right. And he finds Corey Davis. A gain of 32 that time.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Simmons. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Hauschka with the extra point. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll run it here. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
11.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Timmy Jernigan breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Forbath will put this one through, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
23 yards on the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jarrell Casey coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to sling this deep down into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
To throw is Watson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Luck now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Luck. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Luck now
Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Luck now to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Again, Luck looking deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Throwing again is Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And an alley to run. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Luck. Steps, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Luck. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A first down carry now for Corral. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Now it's Love. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
Third and long. It's Love. Throwing right in, that's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Colby Listenby, 79 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. So now here's Luck as his guys will go for 2 here. Luck throwing again. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Watson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Simmons. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. Oh, now he bowls him over. 23 yards on the play. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what I really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Second and goal, one man in the backfield. That's Crowell.
Richard.
Watson looks to throw again. His throw incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is third and goal.
Come back. Tiger.
To the air yet again, Watson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Luck on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run him now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, Luck. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now a handoff to Crowell. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Richmond. Tiger. Reset.
On the run, it's Crowell. And he stopped immediately there. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, here's Watson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Simmons. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Watson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Come back.
On 2nd and 10, Watson being chased out left. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now it's Watson, and he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run with Crowell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he is all the way up past the
tie game, fourth quarter. You're already in the red zone, well in field goal range. You can't throw a pick there.
And you know I want to give all the credit to the defenders, right? I mean, they made a play on the ball. But bottom line, you set up the situation perfectly. You've already got the field goal in the bag. You've got to make sure you take care of the football in that situation.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Whoosh. They find some open field here. The 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. Forbath, the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Come back.
Now Watson to throw on 2nd down. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. 47 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, it's Watson. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Watson operating from the gun. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted, like you said, to pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do him much good.
Come back.
desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. From his goal line here, Locke got his man complete over the middle. It's Peterson. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Locke showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And on 4th down, on is the punt team, sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there in the final minute. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain, and it's second down. Counting down at 30 seconds remaining.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Reset.
First throw in OT for Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And it's 3rd and 5.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
That part 1 is done, now part 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Luck with his first throw of OT. Fighting through pressure. Dancing to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Luck. Oh, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get in overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defense
defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who could help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for the Seahawks, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season, and they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the